Welcome to the Innovators Suite. Today, we're joined by Jennifer, the incredible owner of TC Bakery, a business that started from a deep family passion. After experiencing the heart-wrenching tragedy of losing her mother, Jennifer faced struggles with postpartum after having her first child. But through it all, she transformed her pain into purpose, using her tears to fuel the creation of her bakery. Join us today as Jennifer shares how she turned adversity into success and built something sweet from the hardest moments of her life. This is One Tough Cookie joining us today. Let's get to baking this cake. Welcome to the Sweet Life.
Welcome to another episode of the Innovators Suite. I'm Ashley Scott and my co-host,
I'm Tori Ford, and today we are with the owner of TC Bakery. Listen, if you don't follow her on social media and know her journey from beginning until now and what she has going in the future, listen, this is one person who you need to follow. Miss Jennifer is here to let you know all about her journey, all about the bakery, all about the pros and the cons, learning lessons for some of y'all entrepreneurs out there that's trying to get into this area with her. We're going to go over it all today. What you think?
You know what, Jennifer, it's been incredible watching Jennifer, especially when from starting her business to, I remember we were all in the Walmart parking lot with you one day, to transitioning out of there to like now you have two locations, one here, one in Wakulla. It's just amazing when you can see an entrepreneur to be able to grow. And we know that the process hasn't been easy, but that's one of the most valuable things that I've learned from you, and I appreciate you about sharing your story and not being afraid to share the challenges. So we know that owning a bakery is not always cupcakes and roses.
That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning.
And all of that, Jennifer, but can you share a little bit about the journey for those viewers who may not have been following you yet?
So I started in my house as a way to cope with postpartum depression. I had twins, and also having teenage kids, I needed an outlet. And so baking, my father gave me my grandmother's cookbook, and baking became my outlet. And so as I was baking, the anxiety started to just dissipate, and I just decided to turn my love into baking into a business. And so that's how I started.
So
right there in my kitchen.
Business.
Yes.
Okay.
So one thing I must commend you on is your transparency.
Yeah.
Right? That's one thing I admire about you, because following your story from the start and even like the in-between phases, it's not always about business, it's about life, right? You've walked us through so many journeys in life, business-wise and personal-wise, and of course your father being a huge influence in your life. You know, our condolences to you, but let's shed some positive light on the influence that your father, because every other post, Daddy, I did it. Daddy, I did it, right? Yes. Daddy, we're doing it.
Oh, we did it.
Exactly, we did it. So let's talk about that journey and that path that your father's inspiration has given you up to this point, about your business.
So my mom and dad owned my Marys back in the 80s and the 90s.
Everybody knows about
Everybody.
Everybody knows about my Marys.
So when my mom died at age of 45 and I was 10, my dad raised me by himself. His mission was to not get remarried, and he didn't. It was to solely raise me by himself. So he had little girlfriends or whatnot, but it was just like, my goal is to raise you by myself, and I'm gonna be mama and daddy. And so everywhere I went, whether it was Houston to college or anywhere in the world, he was right there with me. And so when I decided to open up this bakery, he was right there with me. And encouraging me, hey, this is what we can do to make sure that that you make a household name for yourself. And that's what he did. And if you came on Eugenia Street,
I remember it.
You saw him every single day.
Right at the counter.
Every single day.
Oh my gosh, he was there, Jennifer, and serving and happy. I mean, some days he might be done best before y'all. Talk to us about generational legacy, right? Because I hear so much of what you have built is surrounded by the essence of legacy that was left behind, even coming back to that building
Right.
to grasp, to grasp yourself and the roots of your business to be able to grow. Even to you going out to Texas to college, but having your kids follow in your footsteps, but then also knowing you have your own path too.
Your own lane.
How is that even possible? How do you get to that?
It's all God, honestly. Starting in my house and I was looking for a building. I had not been on Eugenia Street in 20 years.
Wow.
And I was like, well, let me go one day. And it was vacant and it had a for rent sign on it. And so I was like, this is God.
Right.
To be in the same exact building that my mom and dad did my Mary's. She worked right up the hill at FAMU. And so it was just God. And so everything was just been God ordained. And so that was my place where I had to go. I feel like I had to be there in order to grow, in order to learn who I was, in order to get the essence of my mama and my daddy, just to see how they brought the community together. Right. And so that's where I got my start.
Okay.
And, yeah.
So I have a question for you, but it's a two-part question, right? So you being a woman
Yes.
in this industry, right? What are the systematic barriers, and did you encounter some of them, and how do you navigate? That's one. And then the second one is being a black woman in this industry. How difficult is that?
Well, they kind of go hand in hand, because I built this this is grassroots. There were no loans. Everything is self-funded. Even to this day, it's hard getting funding because of, I don't want to say it's because I'm black, but I mean, they still consider me high risk no matter how much success I have. It is still hard going into the bank, getting a loan. And so I can't say we are debt free, but I would love to go in the bank and get a loan. So that has been very hard having to build it up by myself. And with no help. Now that we're in the grocery stores, because it is a white male dominated field in the grocery stores, and being the only black bakery in the grocery stores in this region, I fight for my space every day. So you have to make sure that you're always stocked up. You have to make sure that you're always on your P's and Q's, because they are looking for a way to get you out of there.
Let me elaborate on that. When you said space, right? If you're looking at this right now, if you're just tuning in, entrepreneurs have to fight for their space everywhere they go, right? Convenience stores, grocery stores, and I mean like a little bit of space. When I'm telling y'all Jennifer has a whole freezer, not just a half a rack, a full freezer with both doors.
Yes. And so if those doors do not remain fully stocked, they will put someone else in your place.
Oh, wow.
So that's like a daily grind.
Yes.
Because your stuff sells out a lot.
Yes. So I'm down there in Piggly Wiggly. I'm down at Fresh for Less looking how someone going there every day to make sure that we stay stocked up.
Wow. So at this point, we have moved beyond just, I need a team for bakers. We have quality assurance.
Yes.
This is like corporate headquarters. Right. And I think that's a beautiful thing to share, because a lot of times in our businesses, in order for us to grow, we have to add new staff, which means we have to sacrifice for a little while. But that's us sacrificing is allowing us to be able to grow our business into ways that we would not have normally been able to. So Jennifer, share with us how you came to the conclusion that you needed to do that.
So once the grocery stores approached me, I knew that I couldn't be everywhere at the same time.
Okay.
And so I knew that in order to make sure that the TC Bakery way was always implemented in the stores, I needed to train someone to be able to be my eyes and ears in the field. And so I have done that. So he goes around, he gets their orders, he makes sure that the containers are turned the right way. He makes sure that the cheesecakes are not flipped over. If they are, we have to pull them. So he's doing that quality control check, and I'm constantly on the phone with him, making sure that whatever needs to be done, we can do it, go back to the shop and just restock it. Yeah.
Where are you located? Where all are you located, if you don't mind sharing with our viewers?
So you want every location?
Oh, no.
Not all locations.
So we are in all the Piggly Wigglies from Moultrie, Albany, Georgia, all the way down to Panama City.
Sounds like a lot.
Wow, so you
That's
have
a lot.
deliverer at this point. Like,
yes.
okay.
I had to hire a delivery driver
Okay.
and a delivery van.
Okay.
So we're in eight to nine of those.
Okay.
And we're also a community co-op.
Okay.
And then we're
Okay.
several restaurants. So like Early's Kitchen, we're in the Capitol.
Yes.
His main location also at Department of Revenue.
And
in Southwood.
You're missing
what
one.
color?
Yeah, Southwood Suite.
Yep.
Our main distribution center is in Wakulla.
Okay.
So that's where we bake everything, and then we go out and just spread it everywhere else.
Wow.
And the airport. So we're in.
Oh, yeah, that's right, the airport
so we
also,
are
that's
the
right.
first Black woman business in the airport as well. So
So for those of you that are watching, this is possible. It's a lot of hard work. It's also like really narrowing down your focus, believing in yourself, not giving up, because we've been there with you.
Yes.
I'm telling you, I will never forget when we were in Walmart in your car. You went in her car, but all of us that was viewing was in her car. Okay, and she did not hold back. And it's just I think I got to that with my business as well, when you realize you cannot do it on your own. You have to hire, which means that you may not be in a financial position to do that, but you have to sacrifice for the bigger
risk.
picture. So that means you might not get compensated, but you're paying someone else. In essence, that will allow you to grow and scale so that you can.
Yes.
So I think that this is a really good space for viewers to see that connection. Yeah.
And that's perfect, because that kind of bridges into the next question. You have a support system, right? But let's talk about the leverage of community support you have,
Yes.
right? That's different, because you have to overcome some hurdles and establish loyal customer bases to actually not only come once, not come twice, but keep on coming back.
Yes.
Keep on ordering for special occasions. Keep on ordering for birthdays, anniversaries, holidays. What does that look like, and how does that feel?
it's amazing. But it all started with my parents.
Okay.
You know, when my parents owned my Mary's, my mom would feed students for free. And so she developed a system for kids who couldn't afford to eat on campus. She would feed them at the restaurant. And so a lot of those people now have kids, and they have said, you know, I owe Miss Tommy. And so that's a lot of the FAMU support is from her old customers.
Wow. Talking about legacy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it really, you know, after seeing everything with the draft this weekend or the last couple days, it just reminds me of how important it is as business owners. We're not really, when we talk about wealth, it's not even necessarily about the financial piece. It's about relationships and leaving that legacy for other kids. So what we do and who our character and what we're producing is what allows our kids to be able to
Reap the benefits.
You know, reap the benefits of that. So
Because there's no way it would be a TC Bakery without an Isaac and Tommy Williams.
Okay.
Even to this day, even though they're gone, even my spokesperson is in Orlando. He was a Tommy Williams customer from 1994.
whoa.
And so his kids go to FAMU. And so it's just the word of mouth. It's I'll support you. I saw that your mama used to feed me back in the day. Whatever I can do to help you. That has been the way TC Bakery has grown.
Okay, when we talk about growth, when you think of, so you're in grocery stores, let's just talk about a can of Arizona tea. That is like 99 cents. They have been able to be 99 cents forever. Stay 99 cents. But how are you able to still leverage and stay within your price mark too, which is reasonable, even with the high cost of things and products? How are you able to do that?
It's just being just smart. Because some things I can still afford to keep it at the same cost.
Absolutely.
But some, unfortunately, with the market, I do have to grow up, and some of that I shift it to maybe the wholesalers. And not to my retail customers. And then because on their end, they're going up as well. So they understand it more than, let's say, just a regular customer coming in
to the store.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's how I'm
all
able
right,
to do
viewers.
it.
So if you're watching and your prices, that's something that you can, your corporate clients might be something, then your one-on-one clients come in within.
Yeah. So Jennifer, we've spoken about a lot so far, about your journey, about your business, about family. We've talked about the struggles and the wins, but one thing that you would tell somebody that's just starting business to keep them going, to get through the tough times, what kind of suggestion or advice would you give them?
Stick to what you know. Don't try to do everything that everyone else is doing. Stay in your lane. A lot of times, especially with AI, I made a post about this. That a lot of people, AI is captivating the world, and you see all these awesome things being baked, and unfortunately it's not realistic. And so if you try to keep up with all the new trends, and that means you're going to have more inventory, and sometimes that stuff would stale out, and so that means that's money that you've wasted. So I suggest just to stay in your lane, your God-given lane, and leave it there.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Just leave it right there.
Leave it there.
Yep.
All right.
So also, sorry, I know we're trying to wrap it up, but
you're fine.
It's just so much stuff that I need to ask her, right? Because she just touches on so many points with her daily posts. You mentioned about just staying in your lane. You posted about going to a restaurant and having so many things on the menu, right? What are some of your main items that people kind of tend to go towards?
I do 3 items.
Okay.
3 types of items: cheesecake, cake, and cinnamon rolls. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. I do different flavors, but that's it. There's no cookies, no brownies, no cake pops. That's it.
One of those 3.
That's it.
That's it. All right.
Yes. Because I can't do everything. And so I have to hone into what I'm good at.
Okay.
And so I'm not trying to make all the money.
Yes.
Just your portion.
Just my portion.
Okay. So Jennifer, is there anything that you would like to share with our viewers today?
I would just like to share, just keep going. You have to believe in yourself when no one else will. And so if you just keep on your God-given path, everything will be okay.
All right.
All right.
So,
sounds good.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Can you tell us how they can find you, where you are?
So if you're in the Tallahassee area, we're located at 2245 South Monroe Street. If you're in Wakulla County, we're at 2609 Crawfordville Highway, and we are in over 26 locations within the region. So you can also follow us on Facebook at TC Bakery TLH.
All right.
So there's only one thing missing from this whole thing.
I think there's only one thing,
There's only
Jennifer.
one thing missing. So usually, right, when we have a guest, we like to kind of put the icing on the cake.
Okay.
No pun intended,
Just
right?
confetti.
You want to explain it? Break it down?
You know,
what we do?
we have to sprinkle. You know, can we get a welcome?
Welcome to the Sweet Life.
Okay.
You think you can do that?
I can do it.
All right, we're going to count you down, and we need you to say welcome to the Sweet Life with us, all right?
All right.
All right.
I'm
And
ready.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Sweet Life.
All right.
Welcome to the Sweet Life.